God, I hate her, Ross. I hate her.
When Friends ended in 2004, millions cried. But one tiny mistake in the last scene hid something bigger. A cut piece of dialogue, taped at 2 a.m., hinted at a different ending. Years later, editors found the lost reel. What line did the cast choose to erase from TV forever? And what did it reveal about their real goodbye? How the Six became a team. They walk onto the Warner Brothers lot in 1994 as strangers carrying coffee cups and hope. Within months, they turn into a six-person force that rewrites how television handles fame, money, and friendship. But the road to unity starts with chaos. At first, no one expected Friends to work. NBC calls it another young people sitcom, and half the network wants the show cut after its pilot. Casting shifts daily. Courtney Cox gets offered Rachel but insists on playing Monica because she's stronger. Jennifer Aniston almost signed another series called Muddling Through that would have blocked her from Friends entirely. And Chandler? He nearly disappears from the short list because Matthew Perry is tied to a failing pilot called LAX 2194 about airport baggage handlers in the future. By week 3 of shooting, their chemistry changes everything. Crew members notice they start eating lunch together every day. Same table, same jokes. Lisa Kudrow later says, "We decided early. We'll keep each other safe." That promise becomes the backbone of what fans later feel on screen. 2 years later, in 1996, the cast made TV history. They walk into a contract meeting together and refuse to negotiate separately. Each demands the same pay, $22,000 per episode at the time. An unheard-of move in network sitcoms. By the show's peak in 2002, all six earned $1 million per episode, the first time in television history a group has done it as one unit. It isn't luck, it's leverage built from loyalty. Their unity changes how studios treat ensemble casts forever. Shows like The Big Bang Theory and Modern Family later follow the same model because the Friends cast proved it works. A small detail hides in their first week together, something fans rarely notice. Before any script was locked, the six gathered in Monica's apartment set and tossed a single penny into the fountain to mark good luck. That coin stays hidden under the water through all 10 seasons. They start as 6 nervous actors and end as one unbreakable contract of trust. But behind those bright sets, another layer waits, the hidden world of rules, cameras, and chaos that made every laugh so perfectly timed. Secrets of the set. You never saw the Friends set look simple on screen. 2 apartments, a hallway, and a coffee shop. But behind those walls sits one of the most complex studio layouts ever built for a sitcom. The main stage at Warner Brothers in Burbank covers nearly 18,000 square feet, with hundreds of cables, hidden doors, and trap panels that make every camera angle possible. Every Friday night, around 300 fans wait in line outside Stage 24 for a live taping. Tickets are free, but they go fast, sometimes within 30 minutes. The audience sits for nearly 5 hours, watching each 22-minute episode filmed scene by scene, with retakes, lighting resets, and jokes rewritten on the spot. The laughter you hear in the show is real, not a track, but the crowd follows rules. They can't leave mid-scene, can't use phones, and must stay silent during emotional parts. If someone laughs at the wrong time, security replaces them quietly. The famous Central Perk couch came from a basement sale on the Warner lot. A prop master found it and paid less than $50. It became so important that guards later stood by it when the set was open for tours. The fountain from the opening credits sits in a different location, the backlot park set once used for growing pains. Filming that intro took 12 hours. The cast danced in cold water under bright floodlights till dawn, their clothes soaked, but they kept smiling through every take. Crew members had their own challenges. The apartments were built without ceilings to allow massive overhead lights. That meant it got hot. sometimes over 100 degrees Fahrenheit under the lamps. Actors wiped sweat between takes, and makeup artists stood off-camera with towels. During The One Where No One's Ready, a single scene in the living room took 6 hours to film because one coffee cup kept spilling near the mics. The biggest surprises came when things went wrong, live. Lines forgotten, props falling, laughter breaking scenes apart. All of it stayed secret until the DVD bloopers came out years later. One camera operator said, "Every mistake made them more real." However, the magic that truly sold the show wasn't the set. It was the spark between the people inside it. And that chemistry went far deeper than most viewers ever realized. On-screen chemistry and real-life feelings. Every laugh looks easy, but behind those smiles sat real emotions the world never saw. The 6 actors became so close that lines between character and person started to blur. Each episode carried small pieces of their real friendship, sometimes their heartbreak too. Jennifer Aniston once said, "We were friends before the cameras turned on." That truth shows up in every scene. During early seasons, Courtney Cox became the steady one, the friend who remembered birthdays, handled nerves, and turned late-night hangouts into group therapy. Their bond didn't just form over scripts, it grew through exhaustion, pizza boxes, and long Friday tapings that ran till 2 a.m. But chemistry on screen has its own risks. While filming The Reunion, David Schwimmer admitted something that shocked fans. He and Jennifer Aniston had a mutual crush during season 1. They never dated, but the tension shaped every Ross and Rachel scene for years. He said, "We were both crushing hard, but timing never worked." That single truth explains why their arguments felt real. The cast knew. The audience felt it. Their friendship wasn't always smooth. Matthew Perry once told BBC that hearing the audience laugh at his timing became his addiction, but behind it, he fought anxiety so heavy it made him question his own worth. The others noticed. Lisa Kudrow said they created a rule. No one goes home alone when the mood drops. That rule kept the group steady during Perry's darker days. They even helped each other in ways fans rarely imagine. When Aniston's film career took off, the cast sent her flowers on every premiere night. When LeBlanc's daughter was born with medical issues, every cast member visited her in the hospital. This wasn't Hollywood politeness, it was real family behavior formed under stage lights. By season 10, they finished each other's lines off script. Directors stopped giving them detailed cues because their instincts synced after 10 years. That level of connection turns actors into storytellers who move as one. Their emotions created a chemistry so natural that writers began shaping episodes around it. But emotion alone couldn't hide the real pain behind certain laughs. And some of those funny moments carried stories far darker than fans ever guessed. Fan favorite moments. With darker backstories. Some scenes make people laugh every time, yet behind those laughs stood exhaustion, loss, and real pain. Every episode looks light, but pressure on the cast grew heavier as the show exploded across the world. Each season reached more than 25 million viewers, and that number added stress no one could escape. During the famous episode, The One Where Ross Finds Out, the audience roared at the kiss between Ross and Rachel. But few know the shoot ran till 4 a.m. because David Schwimmer had a throat infection and Jennifer Aniston fought off a fever. They filmed the emotional kiss 6 times under stage lights so hot they melted part of the makeup set. When the episode aired, no one saw the exhaustion. They only saw chemistry. Physical pain happened too. Matt LeBlanc dislocated his shoulder during The One Where No One's Ready after throwing himself onto the couch during a scene. The crew heard a pop, and filming stopped for a week. Later episodes hid his sling through clever camera angles. Lisa Kudrow said, "He laughed about it, but the sound of that injury stayed with everyone." Even laughter carried heavy memories. While filming The One with Chandler in a Box, Matthew Perry privately struggled with addiction. He later admitted, "I don't remember 3 seasons of the show." His timing never failed, but his health did. The audience never saw that fight behind the jokes. Guest stars brought challenges too. When Bruce Willis joined the show, he donated his paycheck to charity after losing a friendly bet with Matthew Perry about the whole 9 yards success. Everyone joked on set, but the schedule tightened as security lines doubled for each celebrity cameo. The pressure never broke them, but it changed them. Every laugh track hides fatigue, and every blooper hides hours of rehearsal. Yet those hidden battles made the humor stronger. The pain gave the jokes weight, a reason fans still feel something deeper when re-watching episodes decades later. However, not every story inside Friends made it to screen. Some of the biggest twists and endings were written, erased, and rewritten again, changing the show's history before fans even knew it. The storylines that never happened television history looks permanent, but the truth is, Friends almost looked nothing like what fans remember. Scripts changed weeks before air dates. Entire characters were swapped or erased overnight. Writers worked 12-hour days, rewriting pages, while the cast waited on stage for new lines. Before filming began, producers planned to center the show on Monica and Joey as a possible couple. The first drafts described Joey as kind but shy, far from the confident flirt people know. NBC changed direction after test. Audiences said he felt too normal. The writers flipped the character overnight, turning him into the comic heart of the group. Another shock came from Phoebe's storyline. Lisa Kudrow's character nearly lost her twin concept before season 1 aired. Network executives thought the identical sister idea would confuse viewers, but Kudrow fought to keep it. She said, "It gave Phoebe a world beyond the apartment." That small decision later produced some of the funniest scenes of the decade. Even Ross and Rachel's romance started as a maybe. The writers planned to make Rachel choose between Ross and another new love interest in the first season finale. The ending was filmed 2 ways, one where they reunite and one where she leaves. Editors kept the reunion version until the last minute because the chemistry tested higher with audiences. During season 8, showrunners debated giving Joey and Rachel a long-term relationship. Fans reacted strongly against it, writing thousands of letters. NBC pulled back, saying viewers wanted comfort, not chaos. That choice helped the show hold more than 25 million weekly viewers in 2002. Some ideas never left the paper. Phoebe was once written to have a secret child. Monica and Chandler were meant to remain a one-night story. Even the title changed 3 times, from 6 of 1 to Across the Hall, before Friends finally stuck. Writers say those constant rewrites built the rhythm that kept the show alive for 10 seasons. Every small change carried risk. Every decision mattered. However, behind the laughter and fame came real human pressure, sudden money, constant cameras, and personal struggles the public never saw. And those private battles shaped the cast more than any script ever could. The Hidden Battles fame looks easy from a distance, but the 6 people at the center of Friends learned that success brings a heavy price. In 1994, they were ordinary actors living on small paychecks. By 2002, each one earned $1 million per episode. That number made headlines, but it also built a wall between their real lives and the rest of the world. Jennifer Aniston once said that during peak seasons, they could not walk down a street without hearing theme songs played from shops. The sudden attention left them trapped inside their own fame. Courtney Cox explained, "You go from auditions to tabloids overnight." Security guards followed them everywhere, and producers had to move shooting times to stop crowds from blocking studio gates. The stress hit hardest for Matthew Perry. During the later seasons, he quietly battled addiction to prescription medication. His weight changed between episodes, which fans later noticed. He later shared in interviews that he measured his recovery through scenes he could remember, and there were years he could not recall at all. Yet, even in those years, he kept his timing sharp enough to earn an Emmy nomination. David Schwimmer felt a different kind of pressure. He directed several episodes while still acting, spending 16-hour days on set. He said it felt like living inside a bubble of constant noise. Meanwhile, Matt LeBlanc dealt with the disappointment of Joey, the spin-off that struggled after Friends ended. It ran 2 seasons before being canceled, a reminder that lightning rarely strikes twice. Lisa Kudrow admitted she faced anxiety about her performance. She thought Phoebe would be the weak link in the group until fans turned her into a favorite. Her confidence grew when she won an Emmy in 1998. Jennifer Aniston's fame reached movie star level soon after, but that made her schedule almost impossible, balancing film shoots and live tapings for 3 years straight. Despite all that pressure, they protected each other. When someone broke down, another stepped in. That unity kept them steady while the world pulled them apart. Therefore, the show that looked like pure fun carried real survival behind it. And even inside all that chaos, small secrets still lived. Tiny background details and hidden jokes that stayed unseen for decades. Easter eggs, hidden details, and secrets that lived in plain sight. Every corner of Friends hides a story. Some are so small that fans watched for years without noticing. The show ran for 236 episodes, and inside that number are hundreds of small choices that reveal how much detail went into building this world. The apartment numbers are one of the earliest secrets. In the first season, Monica's door shows number 5. By episode 10, it changes to 20. The writers realized a 5th-floor apartment would not have a balcony view of the city, so they quietly updated it before season 2. Chandler's apartment jumps from 4 to 19 in the same fix. No one mentioned it, but it stayed that way forever. The famous Central Perk couch hides another story. It came from a Warner Brothers storage room, found by a prop master who thought it looked too old to steal attention. It stayed on set for all 10 years. When the show ended, the couch moved to the Friends Experience Museum in New York. Thousands still line up each month to sit there for 30 seconds. Some props kept changing for fun. The yellow picture frame around Monica's peephole originally held a mirror that broke during setup. Instead of replacing it, the crew kept the empty frame. It became one of the show's most recognizable images. The Magna Doodleboard behind Chandler's door carried a secret message in nearly every episode. Over 80 different drawings, many made by crew members. Even guest stars left hidden marks. Brad Pitt's episode drew over 30 million viewers in 2001, and the fake I Hate Rachel Green Club sweater from that episode still sits in Warner Brothers storage. The cast signed it after filming ended. There were deeper layers too. Each script had a secret code word printed on page 2 to prevent leaks. Writers changed those words weekly. Fans who found early scripts in auctions later confirmed this. Episode 102 carried the code Moose, while episode 225 used Orange. Every detail proved one thing. Friends was built with purpose. The small things created memory. The quiet touches made it real. And those tiny pieces come together in the final truth, the reason the show still connects to people decades after that last coffee cup was placed on the counter. Why Friends still matters. After all these years, time keeps moving, but Friends never fades. The final episode aired in 2004, yet over 50 million people tuned in that night, the 4th most-watched TV ending in U.S. history. 2 decades later, the series still streams to more than 100 countries every day. That kind of staying power rarely happens by accident. The show worked because it hit something simple, the feeling of trying to grow up while holding on to the people who make life lighter. It spoke to real life before social media, when friendship meant showing up in person, not sending a message. That truth gives the show its heartbeat. The 6 friends in that purple apartment mirrored how millions of people felt in their own 20s, uncertain, broke, and hopeful. Writers from The Guardian later said the show's biggest secret was balance. Every episode carried one emotional thread under the comedy. When Chandler got married, ratings jumped to 30.7 million because people saw growth. When Ross said Rachel's name at the altar, the audience gasped as if it happened in real time. Each high came from emotional timing, not big twists. The cultural impact never stopped. Since 2015, Friends has pulled over 1 billion streaming hours annually. The replica Central Perk cafes in cities like London and Tokyo stay booked months ahead. Even Gen Z, born after the finale, now wears How You Doin' shirts. In 2021, the reunion special drew 29 million views in its first week across HBO Max. However, numbers tell only part of the story. The deeper truth sits in what the cast built together, a kind of emotional safety that audiences could feel through a screen. Their laughter came from trust, their rhythm from real friendship. That energy can't be written. It has to exist between people who care. When the show ended, each cast member took a piece of the set home. Jennifer Aniston kept a coffee mug, Courtney Cox took the cookie jar clock, and Lisa Kudrow carried Phoebe's guitar. These small souvenirs meant the connection never really closed. Therefore, Friends stays alive because it belongs to everyone who ever looked for belonging. Every rewatch feels like walking back into a familiar room. The jokes age, but the comfort never leaves. And that may be the show's greatest secret of all. Stories never fade. They hide between the laughs we thought we knew. Subscribe, stay close, and join the next reveal waiting just beyond this screen, because the next secret starts now.